Welcome to Mala Bead Meditations with Meg. Today's video will not include a mantra, but I will discuss how mantras have been useful in my life, and especially the last month when things got a little chaotic for me. I'm gonna start with celebrating. Yay! So 70 days ago, I started this journey for myself. I started writing down my thoughts for the day, so essentially journaling, and at the end of every day, I wrote a mantra. And I knew for myself that writing the mantra was gonna, one, solidify the feeling of the day, but also I knew that using the mala beads was a useful way to practice the mantra and changing my mindset and changing my thoughts and my beliefs into a more positive version. But I also knew that life happens, events change, and we can get lazy or we can give up. And I really didn't want to give up. I wanted to believe in myself, and I wanted to move forward with my life finally, and not just try it for a few weeks and then put it down and then maybe a year later get back to it. So I wanted to make this channel and have myself have something to hold me accountable. Things were going great. I was in a really good process. I had a really good routine. And then suddenly life changed. And I'm going to explain what happened. About 4 weeks ago, my mom flew to town to help take care of my family while my husband and I went on a trip. We were going to celebrate our anniversary, and as you might know, it's kind of hard for parents to get time away, especially vacations away. So it was a big deal, and she unfortunately fell when she was here and she broke her kneecap. Instantly, life changed focus. It wasn't continuing the plan that we had already set on and just figuring out the road bumps and then continuing back. It actually became, no, this is the plan, this one. That doesn't exist anymore, it's this one. And I want to explain to you that it wasn't an easy realization. So after she fell, I was her 100% caregiver while she was still here. And I was still trying to get my life to continue on that original plan. So of course, it didn't happen. And I'm saying of course because it made sense after the fact that I should not have kept continuing on that path because it was what I wanted, but it wasn't what the universe or what was kind of being given to me. So I'm just saying that was a first wake-up call that I think the meditations really started to help me understand. I became more accepting of how life was supposed to go, and it didn't matter how I wanted it to go, it mattered that I went with it. And so meditating and creating these mantras is something that I do now as a way to kind of reflect on life and reflect on what I'm feeling and then going with it. So yes, so she was injured, then she flew home. A few days later, I was able to join her, and I had to make some hard choices. I left my family for the longest time I've ever had to leave them over my birthday. So again, a lot of really difficult decisions, knowing that I still had to make the decision to go help her, but I still had to grapple with these feelings that this wasn't how I had planned it, or this wasn't supposed to be what I thought was going to happen. So I had to let a lot of that go. I had to process that she was injured, and now injured in this way that needed full-time care, but also that I had to then be away from my family, and the stories of that playing out. So needless to say, it was a very emotional time, and it also opened me up to a lot of growth opportunities. Had I not been doing these regular mantras, I don't know if I would have been so aware, and maybe I would have gone into a more negative space through it versus coming out of it with a more positive space. While I was there, as you can imagine, being someone's full-time caregiver, especially when you're not expecting it, you haven't made a plan in a month to go do this. It was very sudden and it needed to happen, and so I showed up. So having to be that kind of caregiver is pretty stressful, and it's something that I'm happy to be able to do right now. And I'm also happy that I was able to spend that much time with my mom. It's been probably 25 years since I've lived with my mom for any extended amount of time, especially without anybody around. So it was literally one-on-one time and not with family and going to do stuff. It was, it's just kind of a new experience once again. And so there's also thoughts and issues that come up while you're in a new experience, especially doing it alone. You don't have your partner that's always someone that you're grounded in. But I did have my mala beads, and I did have my process that I'd already established for myself of writing down at the end of the day my thoughts, just emptying my mind, and then having a useful mantra that I could use to summarize how I was feeling or what I wanted to feel. And so I'm just saying that this practice was so beneficial during those hard weeks for me. And I really thought it would be useful to share that with you in case you're having a hard time, or in case a hard time shows up for you, or multiple hard times. Because for me, it felt like I had this clean stack of papers and they were all like bound, but then someone set up a fan 2 inches away and pushed the hide button, and it blew all the papers to oblivion. Some of the papers could never be found again. They were lost. So that's what it felt like. And that's when I really had to rely on myself and working on my mind to really hold myself together and to hold my life together, hold my thoughts together, not go down those negative spirals that I like to say, going in this direction versus going in this direction. I don't know which direction I went in, but I definitely didn't try to spiral down. If anything, I tried to stay neutral or spiral up. And I think that I succeeded. And I really wanted to share that with you because you can do it too. You can succeed when you integrate meditation and these mala bead mantras into your life, especially if you do it on a regular basis. So my goal moving forward is I'm going to take the rest of this week and weekend to bring my life back together. Since I had to hit the reset button on my life, I had to put stuff down quickly and help my mom. Things were just left in an as-is state. So I'm regrouping my life so I can further bring you and this channel the good experiences that I really want to share. Please know that I'm excited to make more videos, and I'm excited to keep developing mantras for all of us. But I'm going to pause for a few more days and get back to it next week. So there might be a longer quiet time between the last video and the next. Trust me, they are coming. I really can't get to it with a full heart until next week. And I'd rather bring you my full attention and my full focus while we do these meditations. So hold tight. I'll see you next week. Bye.